So I'm gonna touch on the subject real quick. You understand? What led me to do this video. I was pulling into Carowinds, off of Carowinds Boulevard, right? Where Carowinds is at in Charlotte, North Carolina, right? It's the Shell gas station, and the Shell gas station is a Wendy's connected to it, right? So I'm pumping gas, right? You know, when I observe things as I'm pumping gas, I definitely make sure that I'm aware of what's going on in my surroundings. So, you know, I'm looking over, you know, towards the Wendy's area, you know, the parking lot, and I just so happen to see, from what I saw from a distance, a Mercedes-Benz, right? So I said, you know what? You know, I have to go through there in order to make that right and like make a U-turn and come on down to make the left to get on 77 North, right? So, you know, I got in my car after I paid the gas or whatever have you. I got in the car, you know, I drove off and I went through Wendy's parking lot, right? And lo and behold, it was a brand new Mercedes-Benz parked in the Wendy's parking lot. You understand? So let me say this real quick. You know, this is a side note. I know that obesity runs rampant throughout all of the races, right? That America is suffering from an obesity problem, and now it's running rampant through our children. You understand? But primarily, the race that really practices bad eating habits is the African American community. You understand? And I don't want to go in depthness about, you know, what we eat and blah 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 blah. You know, we always bring up this mess about, you know, when we was in slavery, you know, the slave master gave us the bad parts of the pig that he didn't want, which is the chitlins, you know, the small and large intestines of the pig and blah 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 blah. All of this bullshit. You understand? Because that's what it is. We continue to say this shit, but our eating habits never improve. So what's the point of talking about the past and our bad eating habits if the present and the future reflects the past? Doesn't make sense. We're not trying to change, right? So I know I'm gonna go out on a limb to say this, and I know I'm wrong for saying it, but I'm more than sure that Mercedes, I didn't stop, you know what I'm saying, to wait until that person got in the car, but I'm more than sure that person that was driving that Mercedes-Benz that was eating at Wendy's was black. I know what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna eat me up in the comment section. But at the end of the day, you all know to a certain degree that is right. That you have family members, you have friends and co-workers, you know what I'm saying? That you know that drive so-called luxury cars, right? Because we all know Mercedes and BMWs, those type of cars, Lexuses and all of that, Infinities, those go through the same type of what you call it? The you know what I'm trying to say. You understand? They go through the same process. They build them shits every day. Every day. So it's like, you know, the people that you know that drive these so-called luxury cars, guess what? They don't eat right. So let me get this right. You invested $50,000, 60, 70, some people $80,000, right? In a car, right? That you're making payments on. You may be done with the payments 6, 7, 8 years later, right? But you're going to Wendy's and McDonald's, ordering off the dollar menu. Now I know what y'all gonna say. Some of you all are gonna say, you know, try to be smart ass, right? Well, you know, the reason why they at Wendy's and the reason why they at McDonald's is because they trying to save money so they can make the car payment. Let me tell you something. If you can afford to get a BMW, then you can afford to buy something that's way more expensive or rather more nutritious for you than Wendy's and McDonald's. Matter of fact, you can afford to buy your own food and eat at home. And if you can't, you got to be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. That means the only reason why you're working now is to pay that car note. And this is the reason why you'll never see me with a car, driving a car, a brand new car that is, that I can't afford. Ever. You'll never see me with gold chains on, expensive like Balenciaga shoes and $1,200 t-shirts and shit like that. You'll never see that with me. You'll never see it on me unless I can afford it. And even when I can afford it, I'm not paying no $1,200 for no shirt. Period. It's just not gonna happen. That plain and simple. Let me tell you something. I shop at Hollister, American Eagle, 6pm.com, where else? Vibrams.com, and all of the places that I shop at, clearance. I go straight to the clearance area. Period. That's what I do. I drive a 2013 Kia Sorento. I got a 710 credit. 710 credit is when I go up to Experian and check my credit, it says good. On the meter, that little meter thing, it says good. I got good credit. But I'll be damned if I'm taking my ass to a Mercedes, a BMW, a Lexus for them to take all my goddamn money. That's not gonna happen. But this is what black people do. Because they're living up to the Joneses. You know that whole thing like, you shouldn't live up to the Joneses. You try to be like the Joneses. I don't even know who the fuck the Joneses is. I don't. But this is something that black people have gone around and said day in, day night. Day in and day out. And it makes no sense to me. I don't live for you. I live for me. I do what I have to do for my family and I. That plain and simple. And I don't care who gives a fuck about it. I don't. Doesn't make me no never man mine at all. At all. It's just that plain and simple. But it seems as though that black people, a lot of black people tend to care about other people's feelings and emotions and what they think. And I don't. A lot of black people tend to live above their means, which makes no sense to me. I can't do that. I can't do that. How can I drive around a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 car and I'm going to the dollar menu section of Wendy's? I mean, hell, let's just be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. Let's be real. Why in the hell are any of y'all driving expensive luxury cars like a Mercedes Benz and a BMW eating at a fast food restaurant? That don't make sense. I thought everything goes along with the territory. Like if you got an expensive car, you live in a nice house, you eat nothing but the finer foods. That makes sense. How in the hell are you living in an apartment, driving a nice car, ordering at the dollar section of Wendy's, the dollar menu? That don't make sense to me. That don't make sense that I see a whole lot of men out here got BMWs, convertibles, drop tops, all of that stuff, right? Brand new cars, all these expensive cars, but they grade the fuck up, receding hairline, bald on the top of their head. Like that don't even make sense. That ain't even fly to me. That when I see a dude that's driving a nice car, but he look like shit, I don't even pay him no attention. I won't give him the satisfaction of nothing. I won't be like, yo, man, you shining. You're not. How you shine? Your car is, but you not. Your bald head, that receding hairline of that George Jefferson you got, maybe shining that bald spot, but you're not. I don't get it. But you know what? Women fall for this. Some women fall for this stuff. Some women don't care. And I said it in a video, one of these videos, I forgot what video it was. I said, yo, let me tell you something. If luxury cars had a penis, women would be fucking that. Because that's what you're infatuated with. Not the man. And that's crazy to me, man. It's crazy how we as black people are so materialistic to the point where it's just ridiculous. It just is. This is the reason why, at the end of the day, I'd rather hop out of an 89 Honda Accord in tip-top shape. I'd rather do that than to hop out of a brand new 2022 Lexus, right? Receding hairline, grayed up, and gotta get up and talk. Oh, my back. Oh, my legs. I'd rather invest in an expensive gym to work out at instead of a brand new car. That makes sense to me. The type of food that I eat, I'd rather take the money that I make and invest it in that. Quinoa, kale, black rice, wild rice, spinach, garbanzo beans, lentils, green lentils, yellow lentils, red lentils, black beans, kidney beans, and the list goes on. I'd rather import my quinoa from Bolivia or Peru all the way to here before I spend money on a goddamn car that costs $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Because guess what? They ain't gonna bury me in that car. They're not. I can't take that car, if I believed in sweet baby Jesus, I can't take that car to the pearly gates of heaven. I can't. It's not possible. So what are you truly living for? And this is the reason why I continue to say that black people are slaves. That's all we are, that's all we will be, and it's just that plain and simple. And the reason why I say that is because of the fact of look at what we're doing. We spend more money, we invest more money inside of our cars instead of what we eat, which makes no sense to me. Let me tell you something. If a black man, let me say this. If a cop wants beef with a black man, if a woman wants to get revenge on a black man, but then don't want to face the consequences behind that, let me tell you something. You do something to that man's car. You don't have to. Let me tell you something. That car, the average black man's car means more to him than his own goddamn children. He'll make sure that he put gas in that car and make sure that oil is changed and the filter's changed and everything is straight on that car before he checks in on his children to make sure that his children ate and went to sleep at night. So if you want beef with any black man on the planet, all you gotta do is mess with his car. Have you ever seen any police officers mess with a black man's car? Because they know better. They know better. They know the consequences behind that. It's just that plain and simple. Even I do. When I see a black man and he pulled up beside me, I'm going to go ahead and park all the way over there. Because I don't want to make a mistake and bump my door across his door because it's going to be a problem. That plain and simple. And it just makes no sense to me, man. It just doesn't. A car is a piece of metal. Not even metal now, it's damn near plastic. The parts in the engine, some of that shit is plastic. I know for a fact most of the Chrysler engines got plastic in it. Most of these so-called luxury cars come straight out of the factory. Right off what I was about to say. And now it came to me. Right off an assembly line. They get Lexus, Mercedes-Benzes, BMWs get made just like a Toyota Camry, just like a Dodge Caravan. There's nothing special about them. Period. But when they get off the assembly line, they go to your car dealerships, they want to charge you an arm and a leg. And what we do, we purchase those type of cars and wonder why our credit is messed up, and wonder why we in a bad situation, that we got to go stay with the baby mama because we got laid off of work. We thought this is how black people think. Seriously, I'm not lying. I know a dude when I was in Raleigh, North Carolina. I never forget this, right? He used to stunt. He used to pull up, I sold bootleg movies, and he looked down on me, right? I'm cool with it. I was making bread though. So he looked down on me. I ain't had no problem with it. You look down on me, that's cool. I'm taking trips, I'm vacationing, I'm paying 2 rents. I'm paying the mother of my children's rent and my rent. Well, technically she was paying her rent, but she was my employer at the time. Employee, excuse me. So I was paying her rent, literally. Right? She was working for me. I had a 2000, at that time it was 2006. I had a 2005, well, we had a 2005 Pacifica, Chrysler Pacifica. I didn't have to have a want at all at that time. I had 3 separate bank accounts with money in it, right? Make long story short, he pulls up with his Infiniti Armada, his girl's right behind him, and she driving an Infiniti, and then a recession hit. You know, George Bush Jr. was in the president. He was the president, right? So 3 months later, right? SpongeBob status, right? 3 months later, right? So Scott pulls up. He's driving a Honda Accord. You know how like some Honda, like the paint messes up and it got that sun thing on the hood of the car, right? I mean, he coming up to me talking about, yo, is anybody hiring or whatever have you? And I'm like, yo, just a week ago you was shining. But that's the problem with black people. What happens is you get a job and they paying you, let's say 6 figures. They paying you $100,000. The first thing black people do is go out and get a big, nice car and a house and a this and a that, right? And then 3 months later, because they think that their job is recession proof, I'm never gonna get laid off, and none of that's gonna happen. 3 months later, you get laid off and then you messed up because your car payment is $500 a month. Because that mortgage is $2,300 a month. You can't afford that. That's the reason why I do not live above my means. I don't. You will catch me at a store at the clearance section of that store. I'm not doing it. This shirt is a Hollister shirt. I don't even like really wear Hollister. This is a Hollister shirt. This t-shirt cost me $12.50, and I paid $12.50 for it, but originally it was like $30. Who the hell would pay $30 for a t-shirt? I'm gonna leave it like this, right? At the end of the day, why should it matter? You know what I'm saying? Why should it matter? Like what you have materialistically. Like, I respect a person if that person is shining like inside and out, meaning that at the end of the day, if you in the best of shape and you healthy, you can go to Walmart, get you a Fruit of the Loom white t-shirt and some shorts and some flip-flops and drive a Honda Accord 1999. As long as it's clean, that broad is gonna talk to you. Straight up. Like, yo, just because it seems as though that it stopped, it hasn't. Women are still into men that have nice bodies. That's all you really need. And you clean. That's it. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You going above and beyond, because I'm telling you, that's the reason why most men get fancy houses, fancy cars and shit to impress women. You're doing too much. All you gotta do is get your funky ass, unhealthy fat ass in that gym and lose some weight and keep yourself clean and wear you a nice t-shirt and some shorts and flip-flops in the summer, you good. Other than that, hey, listen, keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on paying for the pussy. I'm out. Peace. My fault, I forgot to talk about this. And then it'll be like 2-3 minutes. That's it. I promise you. Memorial Day weekend is coming up, right? And it's crazy, all of these black men or just black people, period, that have these expensive cars. They're gonna go to the cookouts. They're gonna throw cookouts and they're gonna throw hot dogs on the grill. They're gonna throw hamburgers on the grill. They're gonna throw, processed cheese on the hamburgers. They're gonna get these cheap ass buns and cheap ass hot dog buns. They're gonna get the cheapest hot ketchup, the cheapest condiments that you can get, relish. Not Mount Olive relish, just like some Walmart relish. They're gonna eat off of paper plates and eat with plastic forks and plastic spoons and plastic knives. They're gonna drink, carbonated drinks like, sodas such as Pepsi and Coca-Cola. I won't even go that far yet. They'll probably get like Coca-Cola, like Czech. You know what I'm saying? All of these things that are mad cheap to get, right? I know 80%, damn near 90% of these cookouts that's gonna go on Memorial Day is gonna have a whole bunch of food that is not healthy at all. And that's fine. That's fine, because when you look in their driveway, you're gonna see Mercedes-Benzes, BMWs, Infinities, Lexuses, and it's crazy. You can't, I continue to say this, you can't take this with you when you die. You can't. But you know what black people say, well, you gotta die from something. Period. And at the end of the day, the reason why we don't practice good dietary habits is because we don't have discipline in our lives. To eat right is to be well disciplined. And we lack that in the food section of our lives. We'll be to work for the man. We'll go to work on time, and we'll work overtime for the man. But when it boils down to our bodies, we don't give a damn. And it makes no sense to me. You went out and got a $50, $60, $70, $80,000 car, but when I tell you to go shop at Whole Foods, that's too much. That's too much. Man, that costs too much goddamn money. I could just go to Food Lion, Key Food, C-Town, Publix. Publix is pretty cheap, expensive. I could just go there. And you wonder why the black race is suffering from prostate, well, specifically men, prostate cancer, colon cancer, but overall the black race, diabetes, high blood pressure. But you cool though. You cool because you got that 2022 BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Lexus. But your ass ain't gonna be here but 5 years. By the time you pay that luxury car off that you have, you'll be dead. And it's just that plain and simple. And I'm not trying to get on you all like that. Like I need to get my shit right. I need to get into shape. But at least I'm striving to be a better me. I'm not upgrading my car before I upgrade myself. It's that plain and simple. Don't y'all get it? And this is partly, I said partly, the reason why we're in last place when it comes to races, getting on top of that totem pole, being on top of that totem pole, excuse me. We lack the discipline, especially when it comes to what we eat. And it makes no sense to me. It just doesn't. We'll go over Sister Shirley's house, right? And ask Sister Shirley, who made the potato salad? Who made the macaroni? Who made this and who made that? Ask all of these questions. Did you wash your hand? Did you do this? Did you do that? But then we go to the fast food restaurant. Those people that are making your burger, preparing your burger, you don't know where they come from. You don't even know their names, their first and last names, right? You don't know if that female that's making your burger was on a menstrual cycle. You have no clue or no idea. All you want is a number one, supersized that with a Coca-Cola and an extra burger on the side. That's all you want. Your food cooks fast. There's no such thing as fast food. Anytime there's food that's prepared fast, is not good for you. Normally when you make a meal, I know because I do it for my children almost every day. Normally when you make when you make a meal, right? You have to prepare it. Like, take for example today, I have to prep. I have to cut up all my vegetables and get everything situated for the next day. So my time that I prepare for one meal, it starts today and it ends tomorrow. And its totality far as the amount of time that I spend making that whole meal, like prepping and all the rest of that, anywhere between 30 to an hour and 10 minutes. Just depends on roughly what I'm making. That plain and simple. So I'm not gonna sit here and say we gotta do better, we gotta change, we gotta do this. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, because you are a grown man and you're a grown woman. You decide what you want to do. Other than that, don't be driving around with no fancy ass car talking about I gotta take these high blood pressure pills looking like shit.